The sun hung low in the sky over East London, casting long shadows on a small, worn-down soccer field. It was a place that had seen better days: faded white lines, rusted goal posts, and patches of grass struggling to survive. Yet, for David Beckham, it was sacred ground. He hadn't been here in decades. This was where it had all started, before the stadiums, the trophies, and the global fame. Before his name was chanted by millions, he was just a kid with a dream, kicking a ball for hours on end, hoping one day he'd play for Manchester United. As he stepped onto the field, memories flooded back: the distant sound of his mother calling him for dinner, the laughter of friends as they played endless matches, the sting of scraped knees on concrete when the ball rolled just a little too far. He could almost hear the echoes of his childhood, but something was different. The field wasn't empty. A group of kids was playing, just as he once had. Barely noticing him, they chased the ball with raw determination, their voices filled with excitement. Beckham stood at the sidelines, watching. He could see himself in them, especially in one boy, no older than 10, wearing a tattered England jersey far too big for him. His technique was raw but promising. The way he controlled the ball, the way he scanned the field, it was the same hunger, the same fire. Then someone recognized him. A whisper spread through the group. One by one, the kids stopped playing. Their eyes widened in disbelief. "Is that David Beckham?" Beckham smiled, stepping forward. He knelt down and picked up the worn-out soccer ball. The leather was cracked, the stitching barely holding together. It reminded him of his own childhood ball, the one he had kicked against his backyard wall until the panels peeled away. With a nod, he passed the ball back to the young boy, motioning for the game to continue. Hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence, the kids played again. Only now, Beckham was playing too. For the next half hour, he wasn't a global icon. He was just another kid on the block, passing, dribbling, and laughing like old times. But the real surprise came next. From behind the fence, a small group of older men gathered, some in their 60s, some nearly 70. Beckham squinted, his heart pounding. He recognized them, his childhood friends, the boys he had played with right here, all those years ago. Some had gray hair now, some walked a little slower, but their smiles were the same. One of them, Mark, stepped forward. "Thought you'd forgotten about us, Bex." His voice was teasing, but his eyes betrayed the emotion. Beckham laughed, but he couldn't stop the lump in his throat. Never. The memories hit harder than before. The endless summers, the silly bets over who could score the most goals, the dreams they had all carried. Some had made it. Some had taken different paths. But they had all started here, on this very patch of grass. A small crowd had gathered now: parents, shop owners, even a few former teachers. They had watched him rise to fame, but today they weren't cheering for a superstar. They were welcoming back a boy who had never really left. As the sun set, casting golden light over the field, Beckham stood in silence, taking it all in. Then, without a word, he wiped a tear from his cheek. Because sometimes, no matter how far you go, home will always be where your heart is. Thanks for watching. If you love this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories of kindness and hope. See you next time.